Welcome to another edition of Siano on the Sidelines. We are your hosts for today. I'm Anthony Gogolski.
And I'm Gavin McCormick.
And joined, as always, by our athletic director, Mr. Ken Siano.
Wow, what an intro, guys. Great job.
Welcome to the show once again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm excited, as always, to be on the show. This is what I look forward to the most during the course of the week.
Today is Thursday, May 1st, and we will be going over the beginning of spring spots at middle of spring sports and interviewing the head operator of Channel 19, TV teacher, and head baseball coach, Tad Kozaneski. More on that later, but first, let's start with how our spring sports have been doing and how they are playing now entering the halfway mark of most seasons. We will first start with baseball. Baseball is doing pretty good this year. There we have a 12-3 record. We'll go into some baseball stat leaders here. For our batting average, we have Evan Miller batting .479. We have Luke Lomax, Jr., batting .404, and another senior, Anthony Gogolski, batting .370. For pitching stats, our earned run averages, we have Vaughn McVeigh with a 1.83. He is a senior. Anthony Gogolski with a 2.59. He is also a senior. And Gavin McCormick with a 3.18, and he is a junior. The Knights are doing very well this year. We are off to our best start since 2012. We're getting out in a lot of games. We're getting out to a good start. We're jumping on teams. We found success early in the season, which hasn't really been a big thing for us, but we're coming. We've really had a good start this year.
So Sterling's ranked number 12 in South Jersey right now by the Baker's Dozen of the D2 Sports Zone. Mr. Siano, that's a big achievement for this team considering what their record was last year.
Yeah, I mean, you guys played well towards the back half of the season last year when I got here, and you're just carrying this thing over right now. So it's great to see just a pattern of success you guys are having. Like, you look at those stats 2 slides ago, and we have batting averages in the 400s, high 300s. We have ERAs in the 1s and the 2s, and we still have other guys that are not even listed on there who are performing very well.
Very
so
true.
It's a great start to the season. We just got to finish this thing out strong.
Very true. We have our upcoming games here. We played Haddon Heights yesterday in the first Diamond Classic game. We took a hard loss there, but we look to bounce back in the next couple games. We play Gateway, and then we play Cherry Hill West, followed by Paul VI, then followed with
Holy Cross Pratt.
yeah, like I said, and like Mr. Siano said, it's not just the stat leaders who are helping this team out. It is every man on the team who is contributing to this season, and that is actually where we found most of our success. Having every man step up, and we have great team chemistry, and we're rolling as a team.
Yeah, it's 1 through 9 and the bench, and pitchers 1 through 8. So the whole team's contributing this year, and we hope to keep it going.
Definitely a fun team to watch. I enjoy watching you guys, man. Keep up the good work.
Moving on to softball and their next 5 games. Today, they play Eastern in a tournament. On the 5th, they're going to be playing Collingswood. On the 6th, they will travel to Haddon Heights. On the 8th, they'll be playing Haddon Township. And on the 12th, they'll be traveling to Palmyra. These are tough next 5 games, Mr. Siano.
Yes, they are.
Packed schedule for the girls.
So this that part of the Kelowna Conference there is kind of like a gauntlet for them. But if you look at the last 5 games here, they lost to Haddon Township on the 15th. They played a tough West Effort team, lost 12-2. Close game against Williamstown. That was an extra inning game, I believe, right, for the on the 18th. Gloucester City was a 5-0 loss. They scored 5 runs on us in the first inning, and it was just a close competitive game the whole time. And then jumping back a day here, Camden Academy Charter, we got a big win here, which leads us into our senior day stuff.
Softball senior night, the girls played Camden Academy Charter, and they came out with an astounding 16-0 win. We have 3 graduating seniors this year for the 25 class, starting with senior pitcher Michaela Carr, senior Riley Huber, and senior Karina Justice. The team is off to a pretty good 5-6 start this year. They, per usual, with baseball and softball, they have a lot of games. We have a lot of games in very short time, so it could be very hard for teams for pitching-wise in baseball and softball. It's a lot of games. So you can't really judge softball or necessarily baseball, I feel like off their record before the playoffs because anything can go for baseball and softball in the playoffs.
Yeah, looking at that last slide real quick here with the seniors, you have your pitcher that pitches every day, essentially. You have your catcher and your center fielder. Those are three tough positions to fill, and I'm sure going forward, Coach K is going to have a hard time replacing them, but, that's why we pay her the big bucks.
All leadership positions in the
Our
field,
men's
too.
softball team had a big win earlier on this season against Haddon Heights. I now see Haddon Heights ranked in the top 12 in South Jersey on every ranking site there is. So
Very good win.
You know they can beat good teams, and they just got to keep playing.
If you look at those past graphics, we've played close games. Every game is close. There hasn't been really many blowouts or games where we're not in it. So the girls are playing to their fullest potential, and that's all that we ask.
Yes, sir. Turning it over to stick and ball, boys lax. Their overall record right now. Girls lax. I'm sorry. Their overall record right now is 4-7. In their conference, they are 1-6. For our stat leaders, we have Antonia Troilo, who is a senior. She has 57 goals, 16 assists, and 101 draw controls. Very impressive. Another senior, Adriana Zazada, with 36 goals, 17 assists, and 29 draw controls. We have junior Montgomery Dram with 35 goals, 14 assists, and 36 draw controls, and Bianca Capice with 69 saves in 10 games. Very impressive stats there. Not only do they have, it looks like, very good offensive stats, but they also have a very good goalie holding down their defense, helping them to have a pretty good season this year. And then with Antonia Troilo and Adriana Zazada hitting big career milestones this year. Adriana Zazada with 100 draws, and so as Antonia Troilo with 100 draws. Adriana Zazada also hit another milestone with 100 goals, also with Antonia Troilo also hitting 100 goals. Those are four. Antonia Troilo, 300 draws with another 100 goals. That's, just milestones all over the team. When the playoffs come and the whole team puts things together, it's going to be very impressive. I'm excited to see the run they make because they definitely have three very good leaders who are carrying the team, doing very well.
It seems like we're celebrating something every day for that team, which is cool. These are great milestones. 300 draws, 200 goals for Tony, 100 for Zazada. Like, these are impact players that we expect to have big postseasons in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, this conference is just loaded, so that's going to be good competition moving on to the playoffs. And looking at the next 5 games, they're playing at Williamstown today. On the 5th, they'll be playing Tabor Creek home at the Castle. On the 10th, they'll be traveling to Rancocas Valley. On the 12th, they'll be traveling to Our Lady of Mercy. And on the 14th, they'll be playing Camden Catholic here at home again.
Yeah, like another stretch of tough games there. The thing with those games, those are all winnable games. We're going to be in. They're going to be tough contests, even though they're tough. What was it? Timber Creek there, 6 p.m. next week is your senior night, so that'll be on the turf.
Make sure to pop out.
Yeah, make
pop
sure
out
we're
to the
celebrating
turf.
the seniors. We have a lot of seniors, and they deserve to be recognized, and hopefully everyone's there supporting them.
Yes, sir. Boys have a lot of hard wins they have to catch. Moving into boys lacrosse, they are doing very good this year. They have a 7-2 record. They came out. They've caught some big wins. Looking at their coming up games, on the 14th, they play Cedar Creek. On the 14th, they lost to Cedar Creek, On the 16th, they beat Gloucester Catholic. And on the 14th, they play Holy Cross Prep, which they won. They are out to a very good start, and I can definitely see them making a very good run in the playoffs this year. They have a lot of senior guys, and let's move on to points and stats.
Yeah, they're competing for their conference this year, so let's hope they can win that. Moving on to these stats, senior Max Bleem has 18 goals with 35 in his career. Senior Michael Tolley has 17 assists, 43 in his career. Senior Aiden Perriman, 37 ground balls. He's off to a good start. Senior Josh Hoffman with 99 saves already, 204 in his career. More on that later. Sophomore Carson Wiley with 33 goals. Sophomore Jeremy Clark with 23 goals. Sophomore Renee Camacho with a face-off percentage of .68, winning them for his team. And sophomore Will Nicholas with 23 ground balls.
The stat that got me there was Joshua Hoffman's percentage of saving is 691. That's very impressive.
Very impressive.
It's a very impressive save rate. That stuck
and
out
Josh
to me.
is the kind of guy who will tell you his defense really helps him, makes the saves a lot easier on him. So he's proud of the guys he has in front of him. So he'll be the first one to tell you that.
Yes, sir. And to follow up with that, here we have his 200th career save, a very huge milestone for Josh and the defense also, because as he says, he comes out here and he says his defense is a big part of his success as well. So we can really shout out the whole defense there. We have Aiden Pierman also on the defense. But as we see here, Josh Hoffman's 200 career saves this season. He has 111. Career saves, he got up to 216. Career games is 23, and career goals allowed is 102. It's a very good ratio.
23 games with 216 goals. He's averaging almost 10 saves a game. That's so good for our defense to have a goalie that can just be locked down when the players get by them and they get shots off.
He's
Very
great to
good.
watch because he's very even keeled. He never gets too high, never gets too low. He just plays his game the way he should, and you can just tell he's having fun out there.
Getting into esports news here. Very exciting stuff here. Esports right now is currently in the playoffs, Group 2 playoffs. They battled against Seneca, who was the 10 seed, Sterling High coming in at the 7 seed, and we defeated them. The next date for this round 2 of the playoffs against Pleasantville is to be determined. Good luck. Special shout out to my very good friend Richie Williams. You know, he dedicates a lot of his time in his Smash Bros. A very hard game to learn and dedicate and master. And all of his spare time, I see him playing and grinding, trying to get better.
Yeah, this team's great. They're going for a state championship. I know they've been in the previous years. They've never been able to get over the hump. Let's hope they can get over that hump this year.
Yeah, this is our year. This is our year. Let's go, esports. Let's go.
Game on, boys. Game on. Going into girls track, switching it back up. At Cherokee Night of the 3200s, there were 6 PRs. Very impressive. One being Casey Luna, who lowered her PR to 11:17, one of the fastest times in Sterling history. Very impressive, Casey. And at the Woodbury Relays, the girls 4x800s takes 3rd in their section. Very nice, ladies. Very nice. That's very impressive, Mr. Siano.
This is another team where I feel like we're breaking a record or we're tying something or this is a PR for somebody every time I talk to Coach Coppolino. So they're off to a great start. You know, they do a great job with their relays. They're always prepared. They're working hard on the track. It's really great to see.
It is really great. It's a great job.
Looking at Sterling boys track and field now, they have a lot of upcoming events, with the first one on the 10th being the Camden County Championships, the 16th and the 17th being the NJISIA sectionals, the 21st being the Delsey Crusaders field meet, and the 22nd being the Haddonfield Baker invite.
Yeah,
These are 3 or 5 big meets coming up. Mr. Ryan, how do you feel about this team going into these meets?
So this is where we have to shine, right, at these meets. We're pretty much past conference play now, so we're getting to like the elite stuff. We're at the Baker Invitational and the field event at Delsey. Like this is where we step up. We start setting our records. I'm eager to change some of the records on the board. So let's get that done. I know we have a couple guys that are right there that can handle it. So I'm just
One's
waiting to get
name is
that done.
Bright John.
Bright John, yeah. We're waiting for Bright John to break that long jump record, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Rolling into boys tennis. They have a 2-11 overall record, 0-7 in the Colonial Conference. Their upcoming schedule today they have Haddon Heights at Haddon Heights, and on the 5th they are home versus Audubon, both at 4 p.m. To bring up some stats, Sora Machinsky.
Paul and Go have had the most match wins this season.
Yeah, and on the 5th there, it looks like we have our senior night versus Audubon. So we have a few guys we're going to honor. Some of them who may not even know what a senior night even is. But they are going to be recognized. We have a lot of kids come out for the first time this year. And the team's improving. We got 2 wins. And we have a couple more winnable matches towards the end of the season here.
Moving on to golf, having their next 5 games with on the 5th having a match against Overbrook, the 6th against Gateway, 7th against Haddonfield, 15th against Woodstown, the 21st against Audubon. Some notable players this year who have really stepped up are Ryan Gallen, Ethan Weitzel, and Zach Capelli. And I also know they're in a tournament today, a big tournament, 18 holes.
Yeah, they're at the Carr Arena tournament today at Ramblewood. This is a huge tournament in South Jersey, and we're expecting some big results from those guys.
Very impressive. Our golf team's rolling this year. Very good season. Rolling into some Sterling boys volleyball for the 2025 season. Their next 5 upcoming games: on the 5th, they are at Camden; on the 7th, versus Camden Academy Charter at the Castle; on the 8th, versus Morristown; on the 9th, at Highland; and on the 12th, at Callingswood. Mr. Siano, what are your thoughts on the boys volleyball season this year?
This is a team that right now that's making a push for that division. We're right there. I think we're in second place for the division right now. We have some serious talent out there. We play extremely tough schedule. The Lenapes of the world, bigger schools, and they compete each and every match.
Young talent, too.
Yeah. So they are awesome to watch. A lot of fun to watch them boys play.
We got team leaders here. With kills, we have Will Stubbs, who is a junior with 114. At blocks, we have Samuel Boykin, who is a junior with 11. Digs, we have Noah McBride, who is a senior with 96. And assists, another senior, Davis Holloway, 199. We see here with the juniors and seniors, they're definitely carrying this team right here and giving them a very good opportunity and push for the conference.
Yep. You just got to finish strong here, just like every sport, right? We're at the point of the season right now where the tougher teams take over, the mentally tougher teams take over, and they just finish out what they started during the course of the season.
Yes, sir.
Looking at some other information, the prom is coming up. It's going to be at the Grove at Centerton on 1022 Almond Road, Pittsgrove, New Jersey. You have to be in school all day for the full half day. So if you have anything scheduled before that, make sure you stay in school, get it rescheduled, and you're allowed out at 12. Make sure you bring your school ID to prom. Everyone can vote for prom king and queen, and it will be announced at 10:15. Make sure your ride is there by 10:45 to pick you up. Once you leave, there will be no re-entry at all, and the promenade will be ahead on the patio at the venue where you will walk through for your pictures, and then you can check in there. The doors open at 7 o'clock. You can't show up later than 11, and the end can't show up later than 8, and the end time is 11 o'clock.
And with that important information from Gavin, we will now have some side notes with our friend over here to the right, Mr. Siano. Let's get into it.
Every time I see that graphic, it cracks me up. So, a couple things here, right? I'm going to do a little sneak peek for our Athletes of the Month. We haven't posted it yet, but for the boys, right, the male side, we have Evan Miller, right, Athlete of the Month.
Congrats to Evan.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Obviously,
Baseball guy.
Obviously, nearly a 500 average gets you Athlete of the Month. And then someone who has just developed and been great on the girls' side, Lily Byrne for the lacrosse team.
Well done.
Yeah. So excited to announce that. We'll put something on Instagram, on Go Night Sports for you guys to see soon. And we'll hang that in the hallway for you guys, but congratulations. Big thing for me here is on the 14th of May, okay, the school doctor is coming in. Please, 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 I'm begging you guys, if you are returning next year, take care of your physical now. Let's everybody get on top of that. Let's make sure that's completed and it's done. Don't be the athlete where we finish our school, we have everything signed up, and then, hey, do I have a physical? Am I good to go? If you take care of your physical this coming month on the 14th, with our school doctor, you are covered for the entire sports seasons next year. For the fall, the winter, and the spring, you're good to go. So let's make sure we're on top of that and we're doing the right thing. And then lastly, a couple slides ago, we touched on prom. I want to make sure everyone is having fun. Everybody has a great weekend. Make sure you're making smart decisions. And look, we're coming back for the final push here for athletics. Let's just get this stuff done and get in the playoffs and have some big wins here. Go Knights.
Thank you, Mr. Siano. And with those notes from him, we are going to wrap up the first portion of our show, and we'll come back with Coach Tad Kozaneski. Thank you.
How do you sign up for a physical here at Sterling?
Go to the nurse's office, get a physical form, have your parents sign the permission slip, and get it back to the nurse by May 9th to get your appointment.
Wait, what?
Go to the nurse's office, get your physical form, have your parents sign the permission slip, return it to the nurse's office by May 9th to get your appointment.
All right, thanks.
Coach, how's it going? Thank you for joining us today.
It's great to be here with a few of my players. Really great to be here today, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We brought you here today. We have a couple questions. You know, you were very involved here at Sterling, being the TV teacher. You basically run Channel 19, the guy behind that, and you are the head baseball coach. So you do a lot. So we have a lot to talk about. Our first question being for you. What have you seen in the team this year compared to your teams prior to help them get out to this hot start? Have you seen anything different? What have you seen?
it's been nice that you guys have had 2 and 3 years to prepare yourself at the varsity level. The maturity level, the strength has come on. You have experience. So when we came out to play this year, it wasn't like, oh my God, we're playing varsity. It's like, all right, here we go. And guys are playing very well. It's the best start we've gotten on to in a long, long time.
Yeah, pretty sure it's 2012. That's 13 years ago. So
That was our last division, too. That's
Yeah.
the thing we're going for. If we win
That's-
another game or two,
do
we're
it.
going to have a division title. So
I
I'm
know
pretty
one
excited.
more game, we're 6-0 in the division, and it looks like it's locked up.
Yes.
We need to do that. Got to finish. Job's not finished, like Kobe Bryant said.
Moving on, just how does it feel coaching with your dad after all this time, just having him being there for you and coaching with him?
It's great because he's the guy that taught me all about baseball. But again, think about your guys' relationship with your dad. It can be a little abrasive sometimes, but it's hard. He had to take a little bit of a back step because he was a head coach at one point. But yeah, I've learned a lot of things from him. I've been able to help with him relating to you guys and how you guys like to be taught. So it's been really neat. And I have another relative having my son on the team that's tough too. It's more tough, I think, on the son than it is on me because he has a lot to live up to. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, last name holds a lot of pressure.
Which is understandable. To backtrack from baseball and to get more of like career side, take us back to when when was your first spark of getting into like radio, Channel 19, getting into all of that? Can you bring us back or give us a little information?
Where I was, where you are right now, Anthony, when I was a senior in high school at Paul VI, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to become a gym teacher. But then one day I passed by the radio station. I said, wow, that looks pretty cool. Let me wander in. I learned how to be a DJ. Then I found out that they broadcast the games on the radio at that point. And what I eventually got into was broadcasting the games on the radio and then on cable TV. And I actually enjoyed doing TV more than playing in the games. So at that point, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to be a pro baseball player. Let me get into broadcasting. And that's what led me eventually, some pro career led me back here. Now I love teaching you guys to do what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that's a great way to hear how you started out with this and how you're continuing it for this high school. I know this high school, many Emmy Award winners, and just this high school is known for having that Channel 19 and knowing that it's you that has really pushed it to this level. It's really great to hear.
And it's pretty wild because there's other coaches in other sports around South Jersey that say they try to schedule here so they can be on TV with the kids announcing and the way we broadcast it. And I just found out, last year we won the national award for the best sports broadcast in America. And I just received locally, we're one of the final 3 nominees for the best regional broadcast. Again, it's great to see how all our students learn how to do it, and now we have some working in the field. It's pretty cool to see.
It's very impressive, very neat that you're able to give that experience to other kids, and that not many schools have the opportunities that you're giving or even know. So that's very neat. Now that your daughter is a head coach, how does it feel for you as a dad seeing this? And also, what advice did you give to her as her first year head coach?
What you try to be as a coach, you want to be as fair as you can. Do what you can to give everyone a chance. You have to learn what looks to you. You take little pieces from every coach that you've had. Just like you guys, if you coach someday, you might have some pieces from what I've taught you, some travel coaches. You take little things there. Be as fair as you can. Be as firm as you can. Everybody has to follow the same type of rules. And I was able to help her learning curve a little bit too with things that she didn't know as a head coach. I was able to help her to prepare paperwork things of that sort. But yeah, sometimes I can be more nervous in her games than I am when we play.
Moving on to the last question. What has been your favorite moment in your career coaching here at Sterling High School?
Wow, that's a really good question. I'll give you a story of the last time we won the championship, guys. We'll do with that. It was very odd. It was on prom day. They had the game at 2 o'clock. We played Gateway in the championship game. And at that point, we still had the promenade. So I was the pitching coach. We got out to an early lead. I had to leave in the 5th inning. So when I left, we were winning, I don't know, by 3 or 4 runs. And at that point, we didn't have much communication with the phones ringing to find out what was going on. I found out that we won when the boys got back to the school with their tuxes on. And that's our last championship. So that's what we're shooting for today. That was 2007, so it's been a few years.
That's what we need to do this year.
Seems like a core
And
memory
I feel
for
like
you.
that's a great question to end up the show with. Coach K, thank you for your time and your information. This show wouldn't be possible today without Channel 19, so there you have it. This wraps it up for Siano on the Sidelines, episode 6. Make sure to tune in for another episode. I am Anthony Gogolski.
Gavin McCormick.
We got Mr. K, Mr. Siano. As always, go Knights.